Hi everyone, welcome back to Smarta.
With Marta.
We are here for our answers video to the basic facts math families. But before we do that, some shout outs.
Right, and my shout out today is for Sienna. Sienna has been helping a lot with the little kids at her house, and it seems like there's a lot. She has a little sister, I think.
Okay.
And then it seems like there's some cousins, but she's helping them to learn some reading and writing and math. And that's great because the best way to master something is to teach it to someone else. So Sienna's being kind, she's being a teacher, and she's being a learner at the same time. Great job, Sienna.
Fantastic job, Sienna. My shout out goes to Corbin. Corbin was doing his writing project for the social studies, and he was researching the province of Saskatchewan. And he sent me a whole bunch of interesting facts. And my shout out goes to the fact that I found the most interesting. And Corbin learned, and he taught me, that in Saskatchewan, you can actually float on a lake and watch a football game. And so now Corbin says to me, I want to go to Saskatchewan. Me too. And
Me too.
That's the cool thing about researching different places. You find cool facts. And that happens to Mrs. Martin and I all the time. We see something, wow, that's there. We got to go there.
We got to go there.
And now we know we have to go to Saskatchewan. So thanks, Corbin.
Oh, great, Corbin. Now we have another place to go.
Jokes.
All
You're
right.
first.
Both of the jokes today are from Catherine B. So if you guys have jokes, send them in. We need more.
Otherwise, you're going to just hear jokes from us, and yours are better.
Yeah. All right. Here's Catherine B.'s joke. What do you call the worm that ate Beethoven?
The worm that ate Beethoven.
Mm-hmm.
What?
A decomposer.
Because Beethoven was a composer of music.
And worms are decomposers.
Very good. Nice job, Catherine.
That's a good science joke,
was.
Catherine.
I like this one. From Catherine B again. Why don't chickens like gym class?
I don't know.
They find it exhausting.
I also find it exhausting.
So those are our jokes. We're going to hit to the easel right away to solve your answers that hopefully you've done for math basic facts families.
Yep.
All right, see you here next. All right, welcome back, boys and girls. And before we continue, this is the answers series of the fact families. Mrs. Marta actually corrected me off camera. I've been saying basic facts math families. And that's true if you're looking at this, 4, 5, and 9. That is a basic fact area. But as soon as you start going down, these are no longer basic facts. These are simply fact families. So these are addition and subtraction fact families. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start right into it. We have 4, 5, and 9. So we talked about, I'm going to go a little faster because you've likely already done this. If I start going too fast and you want to pause the video and change something, so if you made a mistake, pause it, erase it, make your corrections, and then start again to go on to the next one. So I'm going to stand up for the first one. It's a little bit high. Mrs. Martin might tilt the camera, we'll see. So 4, 5, and 9. So I'm going to go 4 plus 5 equals 9. I was lucky. This one is actually in order. And then to get the next fact family for addition, I simply switch the 5 and the 4, or the 4 and the 5. So I have 5 plus 4 equals 9. Now notice I start left to right. Mrs. Marta always starts with her greater number first, and that's perfectly fine. Personal preference. So I'll do one my way, one Mrs. Marta's way, and you do your way. So now we've got the fact families for addition done, we have to go on to subtraction. So I know in subtraction, the greater number is going to start at the front. So I'm going to go 9, and then I take either one of those, minus 4 equals 5. And I do it again, 9 minus the 5 this time gives me the 4. So you should have these 4 fact families. You could have done the subtraction first, or you could have reversed the additions. They don't have to be in this order, but you have to have these exact equations in some order.
Celebrate by giving yourself 4 checkers.
There you go. Those are the 4 fact families for 4, 5, and 9. So now we go on to 6, 13, and 7. So we'll do this one kind of like Mrs. Marta likes to do it, with the greater number going at the back or the front, wherever she is. And we're going to start with minus this time, so why not? To show we can do it either way. So the fact family, 6, 13, and 7. I notice that 13 is the greatest number in this grouping, so I have to start with the 13, my minus sign and my equal sign like Mrs. Marta likes to do it. Now fill in the blanks. Pick one of these, 6 or 7. 13 minus 6 equals what's left? The 7. Do the exact opposite of those two. 13. There's your minus and equals like Mrs. Marta likes to fill in the blanks. The 7 goes here this time, and the 6 goes here. So we're good. Now we go on to the addition questions. So, like I said, Mrs. Marta likes to start with the greater number first. She knows in addition, the greater number is going to be at the end. So she writes the 13 there, and she can even do it 2 in a row because she knows she's doing 2 questions. Equals, equals, addition, addition. So we have our 13, we need our 6 and 7. So let's go 6 and 7 here, and just flip them. 7 and 6 next. Fact family number 2 done. How many check marks, Mrs. Marta?
We had 4, and we have another 4. That's a double.
Okay.
4 and 4 is 8.
All right, here we go. We're on to the question letter C. We have 70, 50, and 20. We're getting kind of up there in numbers now. Which of these is the greatest number, boys and girls? Hoping you're all saying, well, 70. Okay, so let's do it. If 70 is going to be my answer for addition, let me start this way. 50 plus 20 is 70. 50 plus 20 equals 70.
You might also think of that as 5 tens and 2 tens is 7 tens.
Exactly. And we can now reverse those. 20 plus 50 equals 70. And how Mrs. Marta says it. Go ahead, Mrs. Marta.
2 tens plus 5 tens is 7 tens.
Excellent. We're now on to subtraction. So we have to start with the greatest number first in the subtraction. So we start with the 70. Minus, take your choice. You might have started with the 50 the first time. Maybe did 20, who knows? 70 minus 50 is, what's left? The 20. Next question and final one for this round. 70 minus, we start with the 50 before, so let's go over the 20. Equals 50. And I always like to check my answers in the subtraction. If these two numbers added together equals that number, I know it's right. 20 plus 50 is 70, I'm good. Or 2 tens plus 5 tens is 7 tens, and that's 7 tens, so I'm good. We're there for question letter C.
All right, I'm going to put the camera down.
Down a bit now.
Don't forget to do your check marks.
Oh,
now you have 12 check marks.
How do we get 12 check marks, Ms. Marta?
Well, I did 4 times 3.
So you did
3 groups
1,
of 4.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like how Mrs. Marta said she did 3 groups of 4. She didn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Takes her too long. She did, I got 1 group of 4 and 1 group of 4. How much you got so far, Mrs. Marta?
8.
If I add 1,
I forgot to flip the camera.
if I got 1 more group of 4 to that 8, what do I get, Mrs. Marta?
12.
So she's at 12 check marks so far because 3 groups of 4, 3 times 4 is 12.
12. Okay, stop standing up now.
Stop standing up now. It sounds good. Letter D, our last one before the challenge, if you did it. 34, 42, 76. Some pretty great numbers. Let's start with subtraction this time and do it Mrs. Marta's way. Always start with the greatest number. 76. I'll choose one. I'm going to do minus 42 equals 34. Now, you notice I didn't do expanded form here because prior to giving you these questions, I made sure that 34 plus 42 was 76. We know this is a fact family for sure. So next one, 76 minus, we used 42 before, so now we have to use 34, equals our 42. We've got our basic facts for the subtraction. Now we go on to the addition. Hopefully you remembered 76 in addition. Greater number goes to the back. Mrs. Marta likes to write that first, and then she fills in her plus signs. Now she fills them in. 34, we have the 76, so let's go 34 and 42. 34 and 42 equals 76. Then she would flip them. 42 and 34 equals 76. How many more check marks, Mrs. Marta?
4 more.
4 more?
For a total of 4 groups of 4, which is like 4 times 4, which is 16.
4 times 4, 16. 16 check marks. Now, boys and girls, for the challenge question, Mrs. Marta would like, if you decide to do the challenge question, where you would make your own fact family and solve for it. If you did that, please keep doing what you're doing. Take a picture of it, have your parents email it to us so we can see it. However, if you want to do another, because I have no way of knowing what your numbers are, because you haven't even seen this yet. It's now Thursday, we're filming this, and you're going to see this on Monday. So you haven't seen this yet. We can't see your answers. However, I can do a question here that's a big challenge question. I'm going to make this one a super duper challenge question. So
Super duper infinity make a hard...
You're going to need way more than 4 check marks if they get this right, Mrs. Marta. Okay, so I'm going to write the...
I will think about that.
We'll do it step by step. Remember, you can pause the video when you want to solve it on your own. So let's start with 576. That's our first number. Our second number, we're going to go with 984. That's our second number. This is a crazy great numbers. This is end of grade 4 kind of stuff. So we have to figure out, we got our first two numbers. That third number, we just can't guess and write a number down. We have to make sure these two added together will equal that number. So let's stack them. I like expanded form. 500.
I can't do that one in my head. So
No.
work that one out.
984. Can you still see us, Mrs. Marta?
I sure can.
Okay, so we are having the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. We're going to add these together in expanded form. We're in the hundreds column, so let's put our 2 zeros. There's our zeros for the hundreds. How many hundreds do we have? 9 plus 5. Oh, I should stop now because you might want to pause. Pause the video if you want to solve on your own. I'll just pause for a bit in case you want to pause. All right, now you should be back. We've done the zeros. 9 plus 5. How many hundreds do you have? You have 14 hundreds. You can say 1400 or 1400. Hundreds column done. Let's go on to the tens column. How many zeros in a 10? Well, I know I've got 1 0 in a 10. How many tens do I have? 8 plus 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. Make sure you line up in the right columns because 15 tens is 150. So that 100 has to line up in the hundreds column. You could have done 70 plus 80, 150, depending how you like to do it. Final column, 6 plus 4 is 10. We've got our business. There's nothing in the ones column, all zeros. In the tens column, I've got a 5 plus a 1, gives me a 6. In the hundreds column, I have a 4 plus a 1, gives me a 5. And the ones column I have, the thousands column, I have a 1. So you should have 1,560, or you can say 1,560. You can say it either way. Okay, let's go on to our fact family. But first we have to write down 1560. So there's our 3 numbers. I'm going to rectangle them so we can know which ones we're dealing with. Now let's make our fact families. Let's start with addition. We know the greatest number. Is it a 500, a 900, or a 1500? Well, 1500 is definitely the greater number. So let's put that at the end. 1560 is going to be our first addition. Now let's put these two in place. 576 plus 984 equals 1560. Remember, you can be pausing the video if you want to go ahead of me. We're going to flip these around. 984 plus 576 equals, again, 1560. It doesn't matter which one you start with, they're going to equal the same thing. If I stack the 94 on top and the 576 in the bottom, it's still going to get the same answer. Subtraction. Which one do we start with, boys and girls? The greatest number in this 3. And of this 3, we knew it was 1560, so let's start again. 1560 minus something is going to equal something. So let's pick one of these numbers. We did the 1560. Let's choose 984 this time. 984. And if I've used 94, I've got 576 left over. Let's flip them around. Again, start with the greatest number, 1560, minus, bring that 576 over to here this time, equals 984. There we go. So see, boys and girls, subtraction and addition are really related. If you can do one, you think about it, you can do the other one. Always make sure you double check to make sure you have the right answers when adding them together before going on to a big one. I'm really curious which challenge questions you send to Mrs. Marta and I. See you soon. Stay tuned for Rexy. Yeah, but Rexy, if I do that, she's going to take my night. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Hey, wait. Sorry, Rexy, 2 brains when we play chess. Not memory.
No helping.
You can watch, but you can't help.
No helping.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
We forgot. It was time for Rexy's joke.
Go ahead, Mrs. Marta.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Okay, this joke is brought to you by Asher. Why can't you hear a pterosaur using the bathroom? Pterosaur.
Pterosaur. Why?
Because the P is silent.
I like that one, Asher.
Good one, Asher.
Now back to our chess game.